and gather round for an epic show. Oh yeah, here we go. The stubborn heroes coming out on top. Yeah, we always win. Delving into the darkest dungeons. Always fight to win. Oh yeah, here we go. Now it's time for the Stubborn Heroes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Stubborn Heroes, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. My name is Adam and I am the Dungeon Master, and the Stubborn Heroes we have today are Raymond, who plays Rasuan.
Hello.
Cody, who plays Belgarath.
Hello.
And Parker, who plays Tyrannus.
Hello.
Yeah, we're literally missing half the cast today. We don't have Michael, David, or Billy, and that is because today's episode is going to be a bit shorter. It's actually going to be an origin episode. So we're going to record all 3 origin episodes at once. This is going to be part 1 as we dive into the origins of Rasuan and his time in the Xing Dynasty. So
This is gonna make it harder. A good beginning makes a good end.
all right, I actually like that a lot. A good beginning makes a good end. In bed. Are you just honestly, does Rasuan just say fortunes from like fortune cookies?
He has a pocket full of fortune cookies. He cracks one
And he
before
just
talks to
reads
us.
them and he's just like, the journey was not long, but it was long in the heart. Like, what the fuck?
Don't count your chickens before they are hatched.
Yes, that too. Okay, so last time, you all have decided to join the merry band of misfits that is known as the Festival of Monsters. You made a deal with Deckard Moonbreaker to travel with them as they head out towards Stormtalon, which is a destination that you were all headed to anyway. It's now been a few days that you've been traveling. It's going to take probably about 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a whole traveling band, so it's slower. Yeah, exactly 1 week. It's going to take you 1 week to head from Harlane to Stormtalon, taking the main road. Traveling this way is much safer because you don't have to worry so much about attacks from monsters or bandits or anything like that when you're traveling with dozens of people. But it's also much slower. You've all taken this time to rest, relax, and maybe hone a bit of your skills. A few days have passed, and we're gonna head to Rasuan. You weren't here, Ray, but I would like to know, what did you do with the body of the Xing human that died during the attack on the Festival of Monsters?
I would have buried the body in the forest. There would be a mantra chanted to say a prayer. And normally there would be a ceremony held, almost as most people would know as a funeral. Just a prayer said, and then we let the spirit part and move on to the afterlife.
On his body, you did find a note that showed that he was from Zhengbai province in Xing. And it seemed to be sort of a letter he was writing and he was going to send to a loved one in Xing that said that he was, although he was in his late 60s and, you know, he was getting up there in age and should be slowing down, at long last he was living his great adventure. And he couldn't wait to eventually go home again. And you held on to this letter and now a few days have passed. What sort of activities are the three of you doing during your off days? What do you think your characters would be doing? This is a time to be productive. This is time to hone your skills, practice, anything. Take up a profession.
Tyrannus would be... Number one priority is praying to the Tempest, kind of studying the Arkstone, thinking back to some of the dreams he's had and the events at the Wretched Hollow, and kind of trying to figure out more about what's going on. I would assume that Rasuan would have shown everyone else the map that Strega had of the...
Rasuan, do you remember back at the Wretched Hollow, you found some notebooks or a map of some kind? Did you learn anything more about the Wretched Hollow?
Yes.
So it's a map of Umbra that was crudely kept. It's very large. So I'm going to assume you just sort of find a table and a tent one day. Maybe Balgarath's there as well. When Tyrannus approaches you and asks you this, you clear out the table and you lay down this old parchment. It's very brittle, so you have to be very careful as you lay it out and spread it out. And it is a crudely drawn map of the continent, and you'd see its circles. It shows circles around 6 specific places around the map. Then there was a large X crossed through the undying oak in Dusk Grove Wood. With, it seems that Strega had written something about Mother and her desire to destroy it. Where is that chick? Is that a goose?
Sounds like a goose.
It's a goose. My backyard leads over to like a pond area, so.
I really wanted you to just pull out a goose.
Just like.
I also got a goose.
No, he's just like, this is my dog.
Okay. Tyrannus, this is what we found. Unravels the map. It's like there are 6 circles on these spots that look like the stones that we were at in the Wretched Hollow.
They seem to be spread out over the entire continent.
Could they be where the storm moved to? If they're the same type of stones with the lightning that you use?
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, the Arkstone, when I combined it with
That's not the right word. Hold on.
You pressed the Arkstone against one of the standing stones.
Yeah.
And all the standing stones, sort of all their power went into the Arkstone.
Right,
Siphoned.
and the symbol was on the standing stone, and then it appeared on the Arkstone?
Yes.
Okay.
It was already, the Arkstone already had those symbols etched into it. And then
Right.
basically the symbol was on all of those standing stones in that area. And once it absorbed into the Arkstone, now that indentation is like glowing a white glow of magic.
Right, okay.
And that same, remember, it's 3 different symbols, and
2
each
of
of them
each.
are, 2 of each one.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Take 2.
when I pressed the Arkstone against one of the standing stones in the Wretched Hollow, the symbol on the standing stone, it started glowing on the Arkstone, the same symbol.
Well,
I have a feeling that there are 6 symbols on this arc stone, and there are 6 standing stones drawn on the map. I believe they all correlate to each other.
so we should try to visit all these areas with your arc stone.
Perhaps. I'm not sure of the cause or I'm unsure what the relationship between the Arkstone and these standing stones are. It seems to have absorbed some of the power of the standing stones, but I can't be sure.
Well, we should both visit and try to find out more information. What do you think, Belgrade?
We can do that. Seems like the closest one is right just past the town we're going to, so we can always just stop by there afterwards.
That's about another week of travel, I believe.
If you travel yourselves, you could probably get there within a day.
Oh,
It's only a week because you're moving at an extremely slow pace with all these beasts of burden and all the stuff that they're taking, but you're taking a safe path to Storm Talon.
do you guys hear that voice? It's telling us that we are quick and everyone else is slow.
Yes.
Okay.
God?
Okay, I think after we visit Stone Town, that might be a good place. At least we could take a look, maybe light up another one of the rock symbol, and we'll try to find out more information from there.
I agree.
Do you want to hold on to this map?
Do you feel that you can keep it safe?
No, I run up trees and I fall down.
Okay, then I will take the map.
And Tyrannus is going to roll up the map very carefully and stow it away in his bag.
Shouldn't we sketch maybe the marks on a regular map just in case that map gets destroyed?
When I think we should try to do that when we get to Storm Talon and we can get another map.
Suddenly, somebody bursts into the tent. It is a young man who works for Deckard. You'd know that he is Deckard's courier, and he has parchments in a sachet on his back. In a satchel on his back. Fuck, I can't speak today. But when I edit it, it's going to sound like I said the right thing. And he bursts inside. Well, I'm sorry. I have I have some a letter for a Rasuan.
A letter? That's a me.
Oh. Here you go. It just came today.
How did someone know that you were traveling with the Festival of Monsters?
How does someone know to deliver to someone traveling? Even Pyrolator does not do that.
Who knows you're here, Rasuan? We need to investigate this immediately.
Do you have the letter, Rasuan?
No.
Oh, I'm asking if you take it. The boy's standing there holding it to you.
Rasuan will reach out and receive said letter.
Okay, and when you receive the letter, you do look, and you see it has been stamped with a crimson ink, and the very prominent symbol of the Emperor is imprinted on the parchment and has sealed it. You'd see the Emperor's symbol being that of a cloud serpent dragon fighting with a tiger.
That's a strong ass tiger. Okay. He'll bring it to the door. Actually, he'll just open it.
The moment you see it, Rasuan, you're just overtaken with how serious this is. That this would be a direct correspondence from the Emperor himself. So you open it?
Yes.
You open the letter, and you would know by the handwriting that this is definitely from Emperor Kinzu. He asks for an update on your mission to find the Mogan. He tells you that the armies are preparing themselves for a conflict with Umbra, and that he hopes that this last conflict, this last Mogan who had escaped Xing, will be dealt with swiftly, and that you will return as soon as possible once your work is complete. He also tells you that your Kensai master, the monk who trained you to be a monk in the Zanduji Mountains, has passed away. His name was Master Kumai. Signed by the great Emperor of Xing, Emperor Kinzu. And you see his signature at the bottom.
It is from the Emperor of Xing. My old master has passed.
My condolences.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. He kicked my ass too many times anyways.
So this master you speak of, he trained you in martial arts?
He trained me in every aspect of life, not just martial arts. He taught me how to survive, how to live, how to fight. Every little thing.
Do you get your love for cleanliness from him?
No. That's because he was also dirty. I did not like it very much.
Rasuan's cell phone starts ringing.
He picks it up. Hello, Emperor? Yes, why would you send me a letter?
Master, you're alive?
The Emperor lied?
No, the cleanliness thing. He also did not clean himself very well. I taught myself that cleanliness is a good virtue. I can see Belgrath digging through barrels over there, like he needs food or drinks. So why don't we go somewhere more comfortable?
I am quite hungry. We're just standing around.
I know. I see you digging through the barrel looking for things to eat. You fucking goblin.
Hey now.
I say that in a nice way.
It didn't sound nice.
No, it was
Sound
not.
nice.
But I agree. Let's get more comfortable. You can tell us more about your master and your training, perhaps.
Yeah, it might be a good thing to know before you try to go into my mind and freak out.
Are you speaking about the medallion I used on
Oh
Bonnie?
my god, okay. Guys, go. What are we doing? So the sun begins to set as it's evening time, and you all put aside this chatter and talk about the map and what the mysteries are behind that to decide to sort of have a drink. The sun is now set. There's a roaring fire burning on one side of the camp where the three of you have sat down and you have some ale and you're drinking.
Let's get fucked up.
This is not. I don't know. Maybe we could save that for later. I'd like to see Belgrath get completely hammered, and then forget to wear his armor and start walking places as a goblin. I want to see the real Belgarath.
Tyrannus doesn't usually drink, so he's just kind of looking at the ale. Like someone handed this to him and he doesn't really want it. But he takes a sip.
Drink it. It's good.
It tastes like poison.
Exactly. But it
We could
makes you feel
get
good.
we could get you some milk.
Tyrannus is the only lighthouse keeper who doesn't drink alcohol, I think. Just saying.
Tyrannus, do you want some warmed up milk?
Where are you going to get warmed up milk?
Get milk and then get someone to use fire magic on it.
That actually sounds somewhat reasonable. I thought it was going to be much worse.
Yeah, I thought you were going to milk someone.
Anyways, aside from Belgarath milking someone, I figured you all should, at least you guys should know a little bit about me. I'm not anything crazy like a Bonnie. I don't come from evil spirit. I'm just a simple monk who trained on a mountain. I never knew my true parents. I was an orphan back at the Senbei province where I grew up. I knew nothing but the life of a street urchin. I stole to live and to survive. And then one day, like most orphans who steal, I was caught. And they sent me off to the warrior monk monastery at the Zandorji mountain.
We cut to a long time ago in a land far, far away. As we pan over the Empire of Xing. For as long as humans have existed in the realm, the Empire of Xing has stood as the first of all civilizations. Although they worship gods, they do not ask them for aid. The Xing Empire was founded on one goal: human dominance. They are known to have the longest recorded history of any other civilization in the realm. They can date back all the way to what the weathered patterns were during the Age of Elements. Any wizard or sorcerer ever seeking knowledge in the realm would always come to Xing to find out the most mythic of tales and secrets. As we move across the landscape, which is lush and green, full of exotic plants and animals from this strange place that is so unlike Umbra in every way, we come upon what is known as the Eternal Wall, a stone wall that cuts Xing directly in half, that was formed thousands of years ago by the first emperor to keep out an ancient enemy known as the Mogan. The Mogan are as mysterious as the tales of Xing itself, their origins shrouded in mystery as well. Children in Xing are told horror stories. They are seen as boogeymen in the night, and some of the most dangerous beings in existence. Since the Eternal Wall was built, it has been the duty of the Empire to repel the forces of the Mogan from the north, and to keep them from ever crossing the Eternal Wall into the Eternal City. The current Emperor, Emperor Kinzu, sits on his throne in the Eternal City. Rasuan, for over a decade, you have been training in the Zundaoji Mountains alongside your master, Master Kumai. Word has come to you now that the final push against the Mogan is about to occur. But as they are shapeshifters, they come in all shapes and sizes, and you know that the ones that you faced before are nothing compared to what you're about to face today. You arrive at the Eternal City via boat alongside your master, Kumai, and the ship arrives at the dock, and you would see already amassed hundreds of thousands of Xing soldiers standing at the ready to march towards the Eternal Wall. So you're just getting off the ship next to your master.
Oh, Master Kumai.
He slaps you. Boy, you do not speak out of turn.
But there are so many people here.
Yes. He sort of looks around. It makes me wonder what we are about to face. There is a reason the Emperor has called us here.
It's to defeat the enemies.
Foolish boy. Think. Logically. Clearly. What do we know about the Mogan? We know that they are most weak to spirit energy, an energy that we Kensai monk can harness. We are not here because the Emperor wants to honor us, boy. We are here because he wants to use us as a weapon. He just sort of looks out towards the armies. This war has raged for so long. So many dead. If we do not defend the wall today, the whole dynasty could be lost, Rasuan. So, you need to stop with your jokes, and you need to be serious today.
As he hears those words, Rasmus's just gonna kind of grip his the hilt of his weapon a little tighter.
The two of you proceed towards the city. You hear the chanting armies as the generals are shouting out orders, disciplining them to march in certain ways. Huh! And then they would all put out their spears. Huh! They pull them back. You're walking through the path where ahead of you, you see a general standing. He has jet black hair with a little bit of gray along the edges. He is wearing black Xing armor with red ornate symbols on it of dragons. And Kumai steps up and then bows to him.
Raswan's gonna follow suit and bow. Slightly haphazardly.
Yep. And the general there gives a slight bow as well. You are Master Kumai. Yes, we come from the Zaidoji. I know where you come from. You will be on the front lines. How many men did you bring? And Kumai sort of looks back. All of them. The Emperor commanded it. 100 Kensai monk warriors stand ready to defend our land. The general looks down at Rasuan. You seem rather young. How old are you, boy?
I am 16.
And how many Mogan have you killed?
None?
None. And he looks at Kumai. And Kumai looks at the general sternly. A Kensai monk does not need to see battle to know how to win. The spirit guides us. He will learn. The general looks back at Rasuan. He sort of eyes you up. I hope so. And let's hope the rest of your men are not so inexperienced. You will be on the front lines with the 1st Regiment. We leave in an hour. The general turns around and walks away. That is General Yun Wu Gao, Rasuan. You would be best to show him respect. He has the ear of the Emperor.
Raswan's gonna nod in acknowledgement but not say anything, in fear that he's gonna get hit.
Good. You're learning. It's about time. And you see Kumai sort of looks around and then takes out a small little bit of a sweet roll out of his pocket and then hands you half of it. Here, you'll need to keep up your strength.
Raswan will grab it and nibble at it.
I need to go with the general to discuss tactics. You would be best to join the other monks and meet me on the front lines in 1 hour.
Okay.
And he bows to you.
Yes, master. And then he'll bow back and go off towards wherever the monks were.
Yeah, and when you do, you see 2 of your oldest monk friends.
Uh-oh.
There. Let's name them. Who are they? These are 2 fellow monks. They're, you've been training with them. They're about 16 years old as well. Yeah, what are their names? So Rasuan, you're walking a bit intimidated by all of these armies that are there. Many of them look over at you. Who is this ratty little monk guy? These brave, powerful warriors of Xing. You're a bit intimidated. The monks seem like they're almost outcasts here. And a lot of them are confused why the Emperor would want them all to come to this battle, but you continue walking until you see 2 friendly faces ahead of you.
Let's keep it something simple. Just have one of them named Sho, like S-H-O, and then the
For
other
show.
one,
Emerald.
Jesus. Jun, J-U-N.
Okay.
Show and Jun.
Yeah. You see ahead of you your 2 best friends in the world, Sho and Jun.
We're all like young kids, right? Like
You're all the 16, 17 years old, young monks in training. And for you, it's just like, you're not really getting the gravity of the situation. You've never seen a fight before, really. But the Emperor demanded all of the Kensai monks to come.
Oh, Sho, Jun! And then he'll, kind of run towards him.
Try.
Do you want to be
Don't
Show
tempt
or do you want to be Jun?
I'll be show. Oh, Rasuan. It's you're here too. Look at this army. Oh, we're going to win. Look at all these people.
We can't lose if we have this army with us.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, this'll be our first taste of a battle. It's gonna be fun. This'll better than being stuck on that stupid mountain. Having Master Kumai hit us all the time because we fucked up.
And Sho kind of looks around, is he around? Is it? Don't say that too loud.
Master Kumai is with the the war general, Yun Wu Gao. Have you guys ever seen him?
I don't think I have.
That's a great answer because I don't think I have, so you might have. Guys, you can make up anything you want. It doesn't matter.
He's my father.
He's your father.
No, but you can make up
He
some
married
like,
my mother.
oh, I heard a tale that he did this like amazing thing or something.
I heard a tale he fucked my mom.
I heard it in great detail too.
Oh my god.
I couldn't sleep for months.
I have never seen him, but I heard a lot about him. He is a great warrior.
Yeah, wasn't there that one story where he climbed onto a wolf and flew into the sky and defeated the sun when it tried to split into two?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't expect such a crazy story.
Rasmus.
That was only when he was in his 20s.
That sounds like a urban legend.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't believe it. He's kind of stupid.
Don't let anyone hear you say that.
From the causeway, you see a group of young women who happen to be walking by, and they go, and then they seem to be gawking at the three of you.
Oh, June, I think they were looking at you.
Me? I thought they were looking at Rasuan.
What?
I think they are here to give medical aid to the injured soldiers.
But no one has gone into battle yet. Why are they laughing?
And then they scurry away, whispering to each other.
I think they're talking about you, Shaw.
Of course they're talking about me. I'm gorgeous.
Why is your accent going like Swedish a little bit?
I'm having a hard time pinning it down.
Suddenly you hear, attention!
Raswin's gonna face in the way wherever that came from.
And all the soldiers around you stand at attention. Yep.
Yeah. Show like elbows June. Be like, get ready, and he like straightens up.
June stands at attention as well.
An old general steps forward. He has 5 clawed scars across his face. His one eye is glass and sort of droops to the side, and he doesn't have half of his scalp, and he's wearing thick armor, and he just steps forward. So, you are the young bloods. Well, very young it seems. Are you the ones from the mountains?
Yes.
Show.
Yes.
Yes.
You will be on the front lines, the 1st Regiment. Your sacrifice will be remembered. All of you, stand at the ready and prepare to die for the dynasty. And march! He gets on top of a horse, and then he starts galloping, and the armies start moving.
Do the rest of the monks move with? Okay.
So basically what's happened is, and you sort of look around, Rasuan, you realize that out of the 100 monks who have arrived, they seem to have split it up where only about 5 are part of each different military group. And there is about 20 to 25 different military groups around, and you guys are just in one. So you have a few hundred soldiers, about 5 monks, so 3 of you and maybe 2 more experienced people, and you guys are the first ones headed out.
I guess we march.
Yep.
We will be the first into battle.
Shouldn't they have more experienced people in the front lines?
That's okay, Show will get all the glory.
For show.
That's his catchphrase. For show.
The show character's gonna die.
And you all, yeah.
Oh,
No,
show
they're not
you and your
expendable at all.
catchphrases.
And you all march. You travel for probably just about 3 or 4 hours marching with the army before eventually you reach the great eternal wall ahead of you. Large elevators on chains bring the armies up to the top of the wall. And you are all excited to see this as from the mountains far away, you can actually see the wall sort of cutting into the landscape. But you've never been so close that you can touch it and be on it. And it is massive in scale. The sheer thought that this could have been built by humans is so impressive and so astonishing to you that you're sort of taken up in that moment that you start forgetting about the fact that you're about to face off against some sort of evil army. And the three of you go up this elevator and then reach the very top.
June, this wall is bigger than your mother.
June is just gonna smack Show.
Why are you hitting Show? He's alright.
And you all eventually reach the top of the wall. This breeze that hits you, you feel as you are hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air now, just standing alongside this army. And you look over the edge, and down below, you see blackened, charred, dark forest. On the horizon, you see billowing flames, explosions. And it looks like a vast, desolate, dead land down hundreds of feet below you ahead. Three of you are pushed up to the front of the line, and the general walks past you and hands each of you a large what is it? Spool of rope, like hundreds of feet of rope, but they're folded up. I'm forgetting the word.
Dildo.
Large dildo. Yeah. So you're given a large dildo. That's not it. So each of you are given hundreds of feet of rope are handed to you, and a grappling device. And the general speaks. On my command, you will descend the wall, and you will kill whatever the fuck you find down there. In the name of the Emperor! In the name of the Emperor!
In the name of the Emperor.
In the name of the Emperor.
Are there no elevators on this side?
Come on, Show. You know we don't need this.
Okay. In the name of the Emperor.
Seeing as they're Kensei monk and supposed to be badass and stuff, Raswan's gonna drop the rope because he doesn't need it. He'll just jump over the side.
You see several soldiers there who are sweating. The three of you don't seem to care. You're like, we're monks, we can handle this. And then the general turns, he removes a large broadsword, and he raises it up into the air. Go! As soon as he says go, you would then see all the soldiers use their grappling hooks, slam them down into the stone, and then leap over the side holding the rope as they start descending slowly. Thousands and thousands of soldiers all down the wall.
Raswan's gonna throw his rope at June and be like, last one down, rotten egg, haha. And then he's gonna jump over the edge.
Okay.
June's gonna
You
throw
leap over the edge.
both ropes at Show and then jump over the edge too.
Show is going to tie all 3 ropes together and then tie the ropes around the stone and use the grappling hook side as like a little he's like stands on the grappling hooks and like lowers himself down that way like an elevator.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. So Rasuan and June, you two leap over, and using your nimble skills, you begin running down the wall. Other soldiers and stuff look over at you, their eyes wide with shock at how you're able to do this. In your wake, the spiritual green energy just behind you as you nimbly make your way down the wall. Sho follows you on a constructed rope ladder, apparently, as he descends as well. And the 3 of you are the first ones down to hit the block.
As we're running down, cue the flute from Naruto.
Yeah. Yeah. You get your weapons ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
You draw your weapons. Ahead of you is just a placid, dead stone and dirt ground and a dark, dark forest. You don't see any figures right now.
We have like regular weapons right now, right?
We
Yeah.
just have swords. Are we using swords?
Yeah,
or-
whatever you want. Nunchucks, swords. I don't give a shit. Size. You want to have size like Raphael? That's fine. The other soldiers finally make their way down and land beside you and take out their swords and look around. And they seem to be shaking as they look around into the forest.
There's nothing here.
Perception checks.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
2 nat 20s.
2 nat 20s.
Come on, Cody.
wow.
Come on, Cody.
Let's see what I can do.
Come on.
Come on, Cody. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Let's go.
We
Let's
get to
go.
see the entire world right away.
I see into the ethereal plane. Oh, come on.
Oh my god.
This game hates me.
That was a 5.
Yes, it was a 5.
Okay. And Jun, you look out to the forest. About what feels like a minute passes, and then eventually you just sort of let down your guard. There's nothing there, clearly. You don't believe so.
How about we just
You
do
can
a
role play.
overall? So say like we all get nat 20s. We all pass.
No.
Group
So you can
perception
roll-
check.
You can role play as such that you really don't see anything out there. So maybe you won. You don't know.
What do we see?
Rasuan and Sho, as things slowly become quiet, the stillness becomes almost eerie. You only hear the breathing of the soldiers as they stand there with their swords looking around. Then you feel it in your gut, as if the spirit, the energy of the spirit that you harness becomes sour and fearful. Ahead of you in that darkened forest, you see white, glowing eyes staring at you. And then you see another pair, and then another pair, and then another pair of white, glowing eyes. Until
June,
eventually...
do you see that?
Yeah.
See what?
The eyes. Look into the forest.
Raswan's gonna open his eyes and be like, Jun, Sho, let's prepare for battle.
Then emerging from the forest is one figure first. It's huge. About 12 feet tall. Its head takes up most of its body, with small muscular arms on the side, stubby but huge muscular legs, its body shrouded in black deathly shadow, horns and black spikes protruding from its head as it has this almost demonic face on it that smiles with sharp teeth. Its entire form is only made up of black and white. Its eyes glow a deadly, fiery white, and its teeth gnarl as it smiles at you.
Oh, they're coming out of its head. Okay.
Yeah, its head takes up most of its body.
Well, then where's the line between its body and its head?
All of this is really just shrouded in shadow. You can't really tell. It's more like a giant, demonic-like head with muscular, dark arms, and its body shrouded in shadow.
It's a Gengar.
And that's what's... It steps forward, and it's glaring, and you just hear... What do you do? It runs at you then. It's the other soldiers around you, as you're all hesitating and not doing anything.
Raswan's gonna
runs forward.
move
Yeah.
as soon as it moves.
The soldier beside you goes, "Ah!" And then he runs forward with his sword, and then leaps, and he goes, "For Xing!" And then when he goes to slash at it, you see it just immediately grabs his sword shatters, it grabs him by the head and rips him in half.
What is this being?
It's
Suddenly-
Mogan.
4 more emerge from the forest. Each of them looking different, but all of them sharing this large head that takes up most of their bodies. But some of them have no arms at all. They just sort of slither almost like a dragon. Some of them, they have like 6 or 7 arms, and they crawl around like a spider, but they all have that same distinctive large head. And these creatures leap forward, and now they are running at the wall. What do you do?
Now that they're running at the wall, Raswan's like, "This is what we trained for," and then he's gonna run at them.
We should take them on one at a time. Work together.
I agree.
We'll take the one closest.
And Sho is going to run with Rasuan towards the closest Mogun.
Okay.
With
It's that
both.
large one right there. Yeah, and it's just sort of turns and looks at you both, and then steps forward and raises its arm to slam down on you. What are you gonna do?
Dodge.
Yeah, you dodge it. It slams down on the ground. You were able to roll Rasuan.
I saw the other warrior try and jump at it, and so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go for its legs and try and like slide in and like take it out at the legs.
Yep. And you slice at its legs, and you see it falls down to its knees as you cut into its legs. It goes, and it goes down onto both arms.
Raswan's gonna be like, "Jun, you're done."
Jun's gonna throw his weapon, which is pretty much scythe on a chain.
Yeah.
It's hard to pronounce, so I'm not going to even try right now. But
It's a scythe on a chain. Got it.
yeah, it's just gonna throw it and aim for one of its arms to see if it just get it off its arms and just fully on the ground.
Yeah, you're in. While its arms are on the ground, your scythe goes forward. There's this green glow around your scythe as you are Kensai monks, the power of spirit inside of you, and it cuts through both of the arms, and this thing just sort of falls down on the ground. Black mist and blood spewing out of its body as it rolls on the ground. It goes.
Finish it off!
I've never asked about it, but like, is there a core or somewhere like we would have learned in training to like dispatch a Mogun?
Just to destroy the head.
Okay. Yeah,
Destroy the
Raswan's
brain.
Now that it's immobile, Raswan's gonna jump up and take his sword and just like double hand slam it down, right at the center between his eyes.
Yep. And you do so. And you kill it.
On to the next.
The war is won.
And three of you feel invigorated. Oh, wow, we've killed this thing. Suddenly, beside you, you see another one, this one that I've drawn here, slithering around you. It seems to be just like this head that sort of floats in the air and floats around like a serpent. And it goes and it bites at you, Sho. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and like counter and like block the bite with my staff.
Yeah. And it bites at your staff, and there's this like struggle, and then eventually it moves back and forth, and it breaks your staff in half. What do you guys do?
Raswan's gonna jump on its body and like stab into it, I guess, to try to get its attention.
Yep. You jump onto its back, and you do feel a physical back within this misty sort of serpent-like thing that's coming out of its head. And it just sort of backs up and looks up, and it starts floating around. And then Raswan, you float 10, 15, 20 feet in the air as it starts flying around trying to get you off of its back.
Raswan's gonna try to dig the sword in deeper to hang on for dear life.
And you dig, and then you stab hard, and you actually sever its spinal cord, and then its head just flops to the side, and it starts falling down to the ground.
Oh. Okay.
Into the forest.
Like further away from everyone?
About 20 feet from them.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
You're about to hit the ground. What do you do?
He's gonna jump off at the last moment and roll, hopefully.
Yeah, roll an acrobatics check.
16.
This thing just slams into the ground. Raswan, you leap, you roll, and then you are able to safely land on your feet. And you look around, you're surrounded by 6 more Mogun. There's one there that's walking like a spider, and it walks up to you and it grabs you by each one of your arms and your leg, and you can't move. Its face is right in your face, and it starts slowly pulling at each of your limbs as if it's going to rip off your limbs.
Sho is gonna see where Raswan landed, and he's gonna be running over there. His staff is broken. I guess he'll bring out some daggers, and he's gonna try and attack the spider one.
Yeah, you leap in the air, and you're able to stab it. It goes, and lets go of Raswan, and then it turns around, and you start fighting against it. Yeah. What do you do?
June is probably gonna.
What do you do, Jun?
Run behind Sho and almost try to attack the one surrounding to almost make an open path, like an escape route if we need to.
Yeah, there's 2 more of the large ones, muscular ones there, June. They come up, and one of them and you're defending against them. Then one of them punches you in the gut, and you fall down. You're out of breath, and you start bleeding out of your mouth. Raswan?
Raswan's gonna quickly try to grab his sword from the dead one, the serpent one. And he's gonna run at the one that just punched Sho and try to take him on.
The one that punched June?
June or Sho?
Yeah, June.
Yeah. June. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's about to go in for the kill, and then you start fighting against it. The spider-like one, Sho, you're able to kill it and take it down after a few hits. The one that the big muscular one you're fighting, Raswan, It just seems to parry every single one of your attacks with its arms, but then eventually you're able to get a quick strike in and stab it right up from the bottom of its neck up through its head, and then falls to the side.
Nice.
And you're all just breathing heavily as you see there's dozens and dozens more of these things coming towards you.
What are the other warriors doing?
So around you, see all the other warriors fighting, and they are just being massacred. There's even you even see one of these things coming in, and it seems to be having flapping wings, almost like an eagle, but it has that large demonic head thing, and it goes and leaps down, starts picking them up, chewing on them, then throwing their carcasses back down to the ground. You see several of the Mogan there just tearing these warriors apart. They're being just crushed in their very claws or torn apart with their teeth. It's just a massacre around you.
We're outnumbered here. We should retreat to the wall.
No, we have to keep fighting.
We keep fighting, we'll die here.
As Jun, you're out of breath, and you slowly, I guess Rasuan helps you get up.
Okay, let's slowly make our way back. And then I guess we'll just, I'll help Jun, and then just make sure Show's okay, and then I guess we'll slowly fight our way towards the wall.
Yeah, and as you're walking, you begin fighting your way through. You're able to kill a few more as you battle your way back to the original spot where you got down from the wall. You're now walking on corpses, the bodies of dead soldiers and dead Mogan, and then suddenly you hear behind you a loud that just makes the battle almost ceases for a moment as both Mogan and Mortal look back at the sound. The trees part, and stepping through is a Mogan unlike the other ones that you saw. It's probably about 15, 20 feet tall. Its head is extremely large. It has very long, stubby legs, 4 of them, and it's got this huge, almost like scorpion tail on the back. Then it looks forward towards the wall, and then you see its tail pull back, and then this beam of white energy shoots forward and crashes against the wall. It doesn't blast directly through the wall, but it leaves a large hole, gap in the wall. So this is some sort of siege, and it's going to try to blast through the wall. So, Rasuan, you're standing there with your 2 friends. You can either run back up the wall and retreat, or you can try to fight this thing.
We have to defeat that thing before it takes down the wall.
But how are we gonna do it with just the 3 of us?
That thing is huge.
We could, remember the move, Jun, where you throw your chain and slice at the bottom? We bring it down that way. You take out the leg. It will fall over and we will attack the head.
I still have your grappling hooks too. I have 3 of them.
We could use the grappling hook. I think Sho and I could use grappling hook and swing our way up. And if you, Jun, attack the foot and wrap the chain around and pull, you would cut its foot and bring it down.
We can give it a try.
Its tail starts charging up again.
We will do it. Let's go.
Let's go. Start running towards this thing.
Rasuan's gonna run with Sho.
Okay, and what do you do? This thing, it doesn't seem to be noticing you. You are ants to it. It doesn't seem to give a shit, and it just starts charging again.
Rasuan's gonna take one of the grappling hooks and swing it around the tail and basically run past it and try to pull as hard as he can.
Okay.
To
Do a strength check.
Yeah, Show's gonna do the same thing, like from the other side. So they're like surrounding it.
June is
What are you pulling on, Show? Are you pulling on the tail, or are you pulling on its head or something?
On the tail, because that's the thing that's doing the damage.
Wow, nat 20. Rasuan. Yeah, Rasuan, you nimbly run over, you throw over the grappling hook, it attaches.
Yeah, I'll wait for Show, because we're going to do it together. And then we're going to pull on the tail to yank it like upwards so it shoots the beam up into the air and not hit anything.
Yep, and it's charging. Both of you get in position, you attach the grappling hooks, and then you pull. And then suddenly this giant Mogan goes. The blast goes high up into the air instead and blasts somewhere near the top of the wall.
Show!
It immediately looks down and looks at Show.
Show, we can do this! Show, let's
Definitely.
propel ourselves forward when it pulls the tail back up.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Its tail, it then feeling this sort of looks back and then goes, and then the tail just immediately jerks forward and pulls on that rope.
We're gonna use that.
So the two of you then go flying with the momentum.
Yeah.
Yep. And what do you do?
We're gonna use that and then strike, like swing around and strike at its head.
Yeah, land like up by its shoulders or by its neck. Wherever I guess there's no neck.
Yeah.
Up near the head.
Yeah.
The whole thing's a head.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
and
You leap up, onto its back.
And once
What's Jun doing?
yeah, once we land at the top, Jun, it's your turn.
June will run her throughout all its legs and try to cut whatever he thinks is almost like the tendons holding the legs up.
Yeah, you run by Jin, you're like, and you start cutting them. And this thing just, and then starts bleeding everywhere, and then it starts rocking back and forth trying to walk. And there's other Mogan walking up, and it just slams down. It crushes a few soldiers while it's walking, and it crushes other Mogan, and then it just leaps back and forth. It's just falling back and forth. But it's not falling over.
Sho is going to be stabbing with his daggers into its neck, into its head, just over and over, just.
Yeah.
Show, run towards me.
Where are we in relation to each other?
Oh gosh, I guess one of you is here and one of you's here. I don't know. You guys are on its back.
Okay, Sho's gonna trust Rasuan, start running towards him.
Rasuan is gonna wait until Show gets close, and he's gonna hold his hand together as if he's gonna launch Show up in the air.
Yeah.
And once Show gets there, he's gonna launch him. He's gonna go up in the air, and then Rasuan's gonna throw him the sword so Show can fall down and stab him.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sho's running up, uses Rasuan's hands as a vault, and he gets vaulted into the air.
Rasuan's gonna toss him the sword.
Catches it midair and
Yeah.
plunges down.
Into the top of this thing's head. It falls down, crashing into the ground, rolling a bit. The two of you leap off and land to the side. Sho, you slam down on the ground. You break your arm and a few ribs as you crunch against the ground because you were midair and you're just sort of tossed aside. Rasuan, you also slam down to the ground with less injuries, and this thing just rolls and then hits the ground. The Mogan around go, whoa! The soldiers look, and then they all cheer, yeah!
Rasuan's gonna go over to Show and try. Well, he'll get up, I guess, from falling. He'll see Show over there. Jun, go check on Show.
June would run over to Show to check on his.
You look over at you look over at Jun, and He runs over and he gets up to show. Before you know it, you see suddenly all of the Mogan start to turn around and then just run back into the forest and float back into the forest, disappearing. The soldiers who are left sort of walk up to the three of you, and everybody starts gathering again. And some of the soldiers start climbing back up the ropes, the hundreds of feet that they have to climb, using the grappling ropes to get back up.
One of my arms is broken, but I'm gonna do my best to climb back up. Yeah.
Do we have any soldiers around that would help?
Yep, they help you out. They saw what you did. And out of the hundreds who went down, there's only about 6 of you that make it back up to the top.
Oh, what the fuck?
As you all ascend, the bodies of the dead down below, both Mogan and soldiers alike, and you make it back up to the top of the wall. And we're going to return back to the campfire as Rasuan has just finished reminiscing about his first battle against the Mogan.
That was the first time they were able to defeat the Mogan in battle. They retreated for the first time in history, and they did not lose any ground. After that, they deemed me, Sho, and Jun as war heroes, and we all were separated long after, and we all became officers and war generals, and we conquered the Mogun across the land together.
Whatever happened to the cranky general that with scars?
General Yun Wugao, from that day on, saw the potential of the Kensei monk, and he, from that day on, General Yun saw and respected the Kensei monk for what they were.
I really like the sounds of that Jun guy. He seems like a badass.
Yeah, Jun is pretty cool. Unfortunately,
But don't forget that Sho got the killing blow on that Mogun.
Oh yeah, Sho loved to. He always loved climbing the trees. He loved being high, and he loved doing acrobatics.
So it sounds like you're quite the war tactician, Rasuan.
Yes, that was mainly how I saw the success that I have had. How I became war general was I was able to see the battlefield for what it was.
Well, I'd like to hear more stories some other time.
Tyrannus looks down and sees that during the story he actually finished the ale he was drinking.
I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded at the moment. I think I should get some rest.
What are you talking about? Drink some more.
As Belgrath takes a swig of his drinking horn and burps up flames.
You know, I've always wanted to ask. When Belgarath goes rage, he kind of looks a little bit like you, Tyrannus, just different color.
Are you saying I look like an alligator?
Yes.
You mean crocodile, and you don't mean crocodile.
Yes, that.
Oh,
But yeah,
you mean like I changed from like how I look from a goblin to something else?
yeah.
Oh, that's because my pa.
Who's what? Who's your pa?
Growing up.
Is this a fluid transition?
No, it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to end this episode.
No.
That's a story from when you're not drunk, Tyrannus.
Yeah, let's let Tyrannus get some rest.
He's a lightweight.
I'll tell more about Sho and Jun another time. Oh, is he it? What?
Tyrannus fell asleep.
Oh. So,
Should we just leave him here, or?
I mean, you can't. Maybe you go rage carry him, but when you're rage, you don't think. So,
If I go rage, I'll probably throw him like off the carriage.
okay, let's just take him.
What's going on?
Just end the episode.
I just want.
I don't even know what's going on.
You guys are supposed to go to bed.
Okay, wait. So, Tyrannus fell asleep.
I have a way to end it.
Yeah, no.
I need you to go to bed.
Tyrannus fell asleep. Okay. I guess we leave him here. I'm gonna go. Bye.
I'm gonna go to sleep too. So.
Yeah. Okay. And
Rasuan, as you go into your tent for the night, and you lay out all your armor and everything before you go to sleep, Rasuan, you look down at two pendants that you have, once worn by your old friends, Sho and Jun.
And I'll fucking say they're dead, you bitch.
who knows? They might not be. They could be very evil later on. They're brought back.
They were transformed into Mogan.
And you remember them, and you remember that time, and you wish that you could maybe go back there, but you know that you can't. And you go to bed. And that's the end of the episode. I'm gonna cut out all that shit.
Yeah.
All right, I want to thank you all for listening to this Origin episode. It went way longer than I was expecting. And
Shenanigans.
yeah, so check us out. Go to stubbornheroes.com. Go to stubbornheroes.com. We want...
Grayson says go to stubbornheroes.com.
I'll just play music over this. It'll cut out my son's screams. Go to stubbornheroes.com. Don't forget to follow us on all social media and everything at Stubborn Heroes. And until next time, bye.
Bye.